Right then, I'll get on with a few more pages. I've done the sort of very basic centre spread because, like I said, I do want to get on. So that's all I've done there. They're all coming on. So I've sort of pinned them together where I want them, so I know what it's going to be like. And then I thought that went nice. That was that little piece that I told you about that would turn into a pocket. So just done another piece like that with net over the top. There's actually, could be a tuck pocket there as well. So, but I'm going to make this one into a pocket. So I'm going to sew around there in a minute. I'm going to do that. Then what else have I done? Oh yes, I covered that. I'm not sure what's going to go there yet because I might have a pocket. I'm not sure. But I've covered that for now because I found some lace and that material went really nice with that page. So, and then I just covered that, the back one, which I've already glued that down. That's the fabric that I used. It's just one of those sample pieces out of those that you get at the scrap store, the people, or you can go in and ask like furniture places and that have samples, whether they've got any that they don't use anymore, discontinued. You usually have to pay a little bit for them, but you get loads of fabric, and that come out of one of those. So I'm going to cover that, and then that's going to become a pocket that way, so I can still see the design through it because I really like it. So I'll get on and do that. And then what else was it I've done? Oh, and then I'm going to do something similar with a bit of net over this piece of fabric here. So I got quite a bit of this. So I thought if I need to carry on with that, on the inside cover, once we've sewn the signatures in and everything, then I've got some of that. Okay, and that's going to be what I'm going to sew the signatures onto. All right, so I've kept that safe, and that's the only bits of snippet I've got left to make some tags. But again, got the colour palette beside me, so we can make some more, no problem. So I'll get on and do that, and then I'll come back to you when that's done. I don't know whether I showed you that because I'm doing some quick pages, and I was going to put a pocket on this one, and I liked it that much, I thought I can't cover this page over because I really like it, and I quite fancy some little seed beads, sort of sewn into here. So for quickness, I've put that's the fabric with a backing sheet plus an extra piece because this is going to be the inside of my pocket, right? So it's nice and shiny. Yeah, and I'll do the other side of the pocket the same because these two, we're going to have a pocket in here. So I'm going to stitch all mine together for quickness, all right, because I'm actually leaving that as it is because I really like it. So nothing's cut really straight. The only bit that's cut straight is this piece of material here, or those two, because I took it from that. All right, the rest I've just laid on the top, pinned it, and then making sure this edge is fairly square. Okay, which it isn't. I just saw that. Good job I looked. And I slightly glued that. There you go. So I shall pop a bit of glue on there again. That's better. Like that. There, that's fine. I'm not really worried anyway. Yep. So, and then I'll stitch around them all together, and that's that page done because I just going to sew that after some little seed beads, like I said, on it. Right, I'll go and sew around there. There we are. That's all lined. Okay, so when I put the little sequins on in here, you're not really going to see little bits of thread inside the pocket anyway, so it'll be fine. Okay, like I said, I'm trying to do everything for quickness, so it's a little bit skew-whiff, but that will, as soon as it's sewed to the other side, it will be fine. So that's one side. Okay, so now we've got to do the other side because that's a little bit too close. Sorry. Here we go. That will be stitched 3 sides. Yeah, and then you will have your pocket. I've got to line that one, and I've got to finish. I've got to do something with that page, because I don't mind making a pocket out of that, because I'm leaving that one as it is because I really like it. Okay, it's very delicate lace and a delicate flower underneath. So I shall, this was a shirt of some kind. So I'm going to make a pocket or something for that one, I think, because that's on the other side of that. Oh, I got one. How handy is that? I'm sure that goes there. Yeah. Do it that way. Perfect. I've already made it. I forgot. I'm terrible. Dear. Yeah, so that's going to be that side. So I'll go ahead and sew that pocket on there. Totally forgot I'd already done that. Okay, and that was out of snippet roll. Okay, just again similar to how we done the cover, and then just shaped a bit, put some lace around, and then some printouts that I've done. Okay, so I'm going to stitch all that on the pocket first. Okay, and then I will attach that to there, and then line that with the same fabric as I've used there, and then stitch 3 sides together, and we got a pocket. Okay, which I'll go ahead and finish this off, and then I'll see you in a minute. Okay, that's all done there, ready to sew on. Plus I've lined the other one of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, put that on first. Because I sewed down there. Okay, because I'm leaving that open. So sew this on first. Might take that. Alright, let's do that. A chunky bit at the top there, so I'm going to take a little bit of that off. Have a look. Oh yes, perfect. Actually, I need to move just up a bit. I want that slightly more over. Like that. Okay, it went through okay last time. I think I'm definitely going to struggle doing this. So note to one side, self, don't put any thick flowers on that edge. So all this, everywhere else is perfect. It's just that bit. And if it happens that it doesn't work, I've got my singing machine. Plus, I just hand stitch that bit. All right, that's something that I've learned. You know, I shouldn't have had anything on the borders where I do, you know, a lot of over stitching. So, never mind. We shall see. Wish me luck. Well, I can't believe it. It went through, no problem. I went very careful and it was fine. Okay, I have a genome and it seems to love thick fabric. So I'm not saying all machines will do that, but that was fine. But I wouldn't do that again. I would make sure, you know, I've really learnt something not to put anything on the edge. I knew not to put anything on the back edge too thick because we've got to sew the signature into the, you know, the panel. But I forgot about that. So that's fine. All perfect. And there we have it as the pocket. Well, will be a pocket. And there we go. Okay, all lined. Yeah, and then Got another pocket there as well. Okay, so I've done one with the pocket, and then we've got the envelope, and I've shut the other one because when I done mine, once I got all the tags in, okay, I know this is smaller, it ended up quite chunky. All right, I haven't finished the tags yet because I've got little booklets in as well that I've done. I mean, that tag's quite thick anyway, but I like that one, so it's staying put. And once I've got things in here, you know, because I've done a little booklet in the front. I'll show you all when I've done it, but a little booklet, and I'm going to put one in the back. So it ended up quite thick. Yeah. So that's why I just, oh, and I done every page a pocket, that's right. Whereas this one, I've done one pocket, then an envelope, and then I've shut that one. So I think, you know, because we've got the pockets and that, we can put little booklets in there, because all I've done is put tags in that bit. There we go. So that's what I decided that I felt might work a bit better. So let's put that out the way. So that is going to go there. And I don't mind that little, you know, bit of overhang there. That's fine. Because the other pages, some of it will overhang. All right. I don't sew it to this, mind. I sew it to a spare piece, so don't think ahead. Because I would have wanted to do that. And then you got that one. So that's the next page. So that all coordinates nicely. I haven't got any lace on here yet, so we will put it, you know, if the pages end up, you know, it's, I mean, it looked a bit smaller, but it's not. If they do, you just add lace and stuff. That's the envelope, pocket, and then that's one that I've sewn together. Okay, and that's nice and padded. That's that one. I think I've got one more to do, and then that's, I'll just shove that there. Yeah. And then this is this side. It's there with the pocket, envelope, and then I've got to do something with this one. Okay, so I line this both. I've got a pocket on that, which is fine, which I'll leave that as it is. So I can line that one now, and then I've got to think about something here. So I'm either going to do a pocket this way or that way. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to have a little look and see. So I haven't got, yeah, that's fine. And then that's that bit done. Yeah, and line it like I did with that one. Okay, so I'll come back to you when I've done that. Okay, I think I found something. So that'll do. Just cut a piece of that vintage thing off. I know I'm covering a bit of that up, but never mind. It's okay. I want a pocket there and that's it. So I haven't got to think about it. So I shall go and stitch that on. Do I want to pin it? I better had, I suppose, and then trim it after. Really holding. As long as these two bits are level, you know, I'll trim off that bit anyway, so. That's it, and I'll do it from that side so I can see. Right. Alright, let's take pins out and trim that off. We are very near to sewing in the signatures, or pages. Ooh. I must admit, it's quite scary. I will try and show you how to do one, how to sew it in, instead of trying to explain it, but whether I can get my machine set up, I will give it a go. And now. Okay, and I think that lends itself later on to do a bit of decorating there with something, either a bit more lace or something. Okay, so I've got to go and line these two now and then stitch the pocket together, which I'm sure it's that way. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go and line them and then make sure it's all straight before I stitch it together. Okay, all done. Alright, there's a pocket there, lined it. There, and a pocket there. Okay, that sits nicely there and it goes against that page there, that end of that pocket. Okay, so right, it's all systems go, I think. Yeah, that can be trimmed off after. I'm going to put two big tags in there, fabric tags, you know, quite ornate because it's quite a plain background, so we'll do the tags ornate on that one. So we are ready to go. Oh, it's a scary bit now. There. And that one's that one. So what we've got to do first is sort out the fabric for that. Okay, right, the first time I done this I actually made a mistake and I cut it. The trouble is this one doesn't fray. Oh no, it doesn't fray that way very well. I made a mistake of cutting it too small, and then I had to patch up, but luckily because of the way the journal is, you can't see it. But when I first done it, I thought, oh no, so you can't actually see what I'd done there. There it is. You can just see that little bit of white, there. Okay, but I could have put a bit of lace there, but I just haven't finished it yet. And I actually don't mind it. It's fine. It's my first one, and this one's going to be similar. That's why I like doing them like this. It's sort of like a raggedy. It's a bit like Nick the Booksmith when she done her raggeties. And this is a fabric raggedy. Raggedy. If I could speak, it would help. So yeah, look at that. It's looking nice, isn't it? So right, I'm going to have lunch first, and I'll be back in a minute. Right, I cut a piece of fabric a little bit longer and bigger than the cover. Okay, because we can trim off afterwards. Right, and because it wasn't perfectly straight, I literally put that in and started to iron and then ran it down. So I've got a straight line to a guide to follow here, and I've got a guide to follow there, and I've got guides here. I found the middle and ironed it. Okay, so I've got a guide here because you can use these, which you'll see in a minute when I do it. Okay, so that's what I do with that bit. Then I do make sure it fits in once the signatures, you know, I'm just thinking that's going to be the top of this one. That's going to sort of fit the lace. I usually do, you know, the bottom, whatever bit that hasn't got the lace in, I'll match up. So if there's no lace on that side, then I'll match the top to that, and then, or whatever, you know, but I literally do the top of that to there because that was the same size, yeah, regardless of what's above it with the lace and everything, and down here especially. All right, so that's what I do there, and make sure, which that is the wrong side, that goes that side. Let's take this away though. I don't want that. Yeah, so that's how I find my straight line. And because I didn't want to mark that. You can mark it with one of those pencils, but mine didn't mark on there very well, so I ironed it instead. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, let's have a look, quite close to the middle one. Okay, just there. Then that will go, because this is our middle. We start off our middle because we go under here and we'll sew one down there. Yes, I know, it puzzled me the first time. So what I'm going to do is run a bead of glue just to get it in, stick it in place really. Right, and that's my top guide, so I'm going to sort of put one on this line here. Of course, this line is, it's a shame they're not all the same width, but it doesn't matter. Just a bit of glue. Doesn't matter if it shows through the back because that's stitched down. All right, make sure I get, yeah, there's my pocket going that way. Right, there's no lace here, so I'm going to line that up at the bottom. Okay, so if there's a bit of overhang at the top, that's all right. Just going to stick that down there. Okay, and what we do now, when that's dry, just make sure that's sort of squarish. Yeah, and there's a little bit white there, but we put lace at the top there. I'm not worried about it. I'm not, you know, over fussy at all with this one because I knew I had to get it finished, and I need to do that because that's a little bit wonky, but that's all right. We can, let's have a look. That's going to be stitched down there. Nice sort of line it up again, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's all right. And now what we do, we stitch all the way down there. I don't stitch down here. I start there and finish here. Okay. All right, let's go and stitch that. Okay, it's all stitched. Yeah. Right, so just got to make sure that this is, you know, nice laid flat. Okay, but that's all stitched down there. All right. Now we do the other side. Right, a little pointer. Right, okay. It's important that you get this square, okay, or squarish. Right, which I'm going down a bit with that one. Yeah, because I'm gonna. Time you put a bit of lace, a little bit of lace on the top, that's fine. Right, now it's important that it's fairly square here, right? If you're gonna alter things, you know, like there might be a little bit more of a gap, you know, here, and it looks at the moment a little bit untidy. Well, I don't worry about that. Like I say, if you were most probably a sewer, you would do this a lot better than me. So I'm just showing you people that are beginners or frightened of fabric. All right, so because that looks, this is going to be our center of our signature, our journal. All right, this, I mean, you cover it. Okay, you would put one that side and then you would put another one that side or something, and it just covers whatever goes on in the middle. So if you've got to do a little bit of alteration to make sure it's fairly square here, both sides there. All right, don't worry about the middle. That can be covered. We can't change the way it is here, but we can here. Right, so again, little tiny bits of glue, and then my head might get in the way while I try and straighten it, but we leave just a tiny bit of a gap. Doesn't have to be too much. We can come out a bit more once we've got our first signature in, if we need to. Always wait for the glue to dry. It's a little bit too much actually, but okay, so I need to stand up for this, sorry folks. Okay, and I'm getting it as level as I can. Again, you know, it's not perfect here. You put lace on and it becomes straight. Like I say, it's a bit of a raggedy journal, but they do look lovely. Right. So that's a little bit glue on there. Just don't want it going too much on there because I put a little bit too much glue there. So just getting that out the way there. Just rub that off. Okay. And I'll check again before I sew it. All right. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's a bit. Here we go. Center done. All right. So what you have to do now, just pull that out a little bit, is I go one side and then the other. So I've done that side, so I'll go back to this side. Yeah. Okay. And it's the next one's the pocket next. That's right. Okay, and that goes in here. So you work from the middle to the outside. Yeah. So I leave a bit of room again. I follow a line, most probably that line there. It could come in a little bit, but right, there's nothing there. It should fit. Okay, I'm just going to check. I hope this material's all right. The other one was so forgiving, whereas this one's a little bit shiny. So I'm hoping. So need a bit of luck. I go there and then there, and then we use a bit of glue again. It's not perfect, it doesn't really matter, long as the outside is, because or else it would be all funny shape. Just a little bit of glue there. Okay, but before you do this, you're best to finish off all your, sewing and stuff, but I'm going to add lace after. Like I say, I wanted to get it finished for you, so. Right, and what you do, you lift up here. Okay, so you can see how much gap there is. Because it does move. Right. Gone below that line, so I've got to come up, okay, because this could change a little bit there. Actually need a grip in that one just to keep that down. Need to iron in that bit really. That's that. So it can put your eye off, if you know what I mean. And also this materials changes shape. But that's okay, I don't mind, because it's so beautiful. I think actually it is silk. So, alright, let me have a look. Okay, you see in the other one, it goes there. Right, I'm going to try that. So it's lined up along my line there, and it's lined up near enough at the top there. So, yeah, it's fine. So I shall now go and do a stitch along there. Okay, that's that done. So I go to the other side now, and then I'll go down that line there. Pocket and that, or envelope. Yeah, make sure that's the right way up, and then that one's going to go in there. But what you need to do is check that they're all similar length, yeah, which is fine there. Again, if they're not quite, don't worry, because we can still change through putting lace on the edges, which I've most probably said 100 times. Keep thinking I haven't said it, so just a little bit of glue along there. Right, and what I do is check again on the more on the outside, okay? If I need to move it slightly there to make sure it's square here. Okay, which a little bit too much actually. Right, and I will check that, make sure it's okay, which it is. I wish I could show you sewing it. I literally put the, I mean, it goes through this so easily, honestly, it really does. But sometimes you have to, as you're sewing, you might have to lift this side up, okay, and sew down there. All right, so you're literally stitching all the way along there. All right, if you can see that, all the way, right on that edge, all the way down. Yeah, but sometimes when you're in the machine, you have to sort of lift this up while you stitch down here, especially on the last signature. All right, and especially on when you, not so much on here, but when you sew the you sew this into your cover. All right, you must do it. All right, I'll just check one last check. Everything's all right there. And when you're in the machine and you're sewing here, okay, make sure you give that a bit of a tug so that that all lays flat where you're sewing. All right, or else you might get pucker, which I did on the first journal. I definitely had a bit of a pucker going on. That's got to go there. So, okay, that's that one done. And then we can do the next one. All right, I'll do the other side, but look at that. That's way in there. You know, it's so in there. It's not going to go anywhere. Right, well, that was that putting me off. That's, yeah, no, that's fine. So, this one first. That's right. This is left. So that will go in there like that. I've got to make sure they're out of the way. It should look like I've sewn one in anyway. That's all right. That's just cool. Okay. Glue. Done now. I've got my guides here. Right, just lift up, will you? Push that. And I'm going to come in a little bit. That's why it's good to have striped fabric, as you can follow. Just want to come a little bit closer. Of course, I've got lace on that, haven't I? That's why. Yeah, that one will be the same, won't it? Because there's got lace on it. And the others haven't, you see. So that one we'll have in a minute. That'll have a bit more lace, so that'll be all right. Yep. That's what I was thinking. Gosh, that was miles bigger, but... it's not when it's there. Yeah. Okay. Right, I'm going to stitch that now. Just want that. Done there. Okay, I think we're done. Yeah, and I've just checked the height there. And that will be back there. That looks longer in a minute because I was pulling it forward, but that's right. Yeah. Check all around, make sure it's square, and then stitch away. Okay, last one. So I can still see my line, which is great. make sure everything's around the right way. Guarantee if it's gonna go wrong, it'll go around wrong on the last one. Right, here's my line. Here's my line there. And might need to come in a little bit. Let's check. Just gonna. Yeah, right, I'll check that now. That's fine because we've got lace overhangs. So that's going to be longer than that because I've got to put some lace on that bit, which will bring that out, and on that bit as well. So that is fine. Okay, right, I'll stitch that. Right, last one in. Okay, and now we've got to put it in the cover. I'll make sure that's the right way round. Right, normally, like I said before, seem like I'm repeating myself terribly, is you would finish your cover. Okay, you would do all your finish bits and pieces that you wanted to do, but I'm going to do mine after, right, because I'm running out of time, and I want to show you this because I've got a couple of things I need to do next week and that, so I want to get this finished this week so I can get on with my other things. So what we do next is we actually sew this into there, but don't you do it until this is finished. All right, but I'm gonna, like I say, hand sew mine. All right, so I'll just check everything. It's fine, because once we stick, put some glue on here, and then we sort of mold that around where you've got a guide. You find your middle signature, you've got a guide there to your middle of your journal, so that's all right. And then we'll stick that down, yeah, and then we then stitch in between every one of them, so we actually cut forms the 2-inch spine. All right, so I'll do that in a minute. I'm just gonna have a little quick break, and then I'll be back in a minute. Right, because we don't see the inside here, so you open it flat, yeah, like that, and you draw a pencil line down the center. All right, so I know that's the center because I done it from here. Okay, and then I checked where that line was. Again, that's a great thing about lined fabric. And then I drew it down there because we are going to stitch that in a minute, but this way around. Just make sure it's all the way right way. Yeah, that lace at the top. And then you match up this line here with that line on there. All right, but firstly we add some glue. Just to hold it in place where you sew. And for extra security, I went off a bit there. I don't know why that is, but they're straight there, so that's all right. That's why it's always best to check that end. Okay, let's make sure. Yeah, that's the front. And line up this way as well, so I do it side on. Okay, and just maneuver it until you're happy that that line is on there, and that needs to come down a bit. That's there. Yeah, that's good. So look. Plenty of overhang there. That's better. Right, and I'm going to check the line now. Yeah, we're on there. And then check this line. Might need to come over a little bit. that, and then push down. Oh, this looks so messy. There, that's okay. It all disappears. Right, so the first thing we do is we stitch down the center. Right, and what it does, the needle, the thing of the sewing machine sits either side of that, and then the needle goes down the middle, right, because there's nothing there but 2 layers. Yeah, that's all that's there. Just making sure I'm the right way before I sew, because I haven't got a second chance with this one. Oh, I thought I was puckering a bit. That's okay. And you'll find it, if you look here, you think, oh, it's going to pucker, but that's why I like things that we can take this apart, because I will trim it, because it's going to be too much, and then let it fray, and it doesn't notice. All right. Yeah, that's pretty square. Right, I'm going to go and stitch down there now. It should be dry. So you go stitch down. I'll do there, then I'll do that side, then I will do that side, and I'll carry on like that, all right, until it's done. So go back and off I go. Okay, that's all stitched down there, all right, and then now I'm going to go and stitch down that one, and then go to the other side and stitch down that one. Okay, and then there, I don't do that one, okay, and I don't do the front one, all right, just everyone in between, all right. So I'll be back when that's done. Right, this isn't going to be very good quality, I'm afraid, because the lighting here is terrible, but I'm trying to get it in just to show you what I mean. Okay, and it just sits there, all right, and you take the weight of that piece, of that end. Right, to see if I can reach me pedal. And oh, they did that under there, sorry. This did put me thread under there. Okay. Push it as far as it'll go, alright. But sorry about the quality. And then and it pushes against this, you see, so it seems to work. It goes fairly straight. There we go. Okay, lift up and then pull out. There we go. Right, and the same as goes when we start to sew this piece of fabric into here. All right, you've got to keep that well stretched. Yeah, very well stretched, and you'll find you'll come up to here and then it'll stop. All right, and then the same here. So you have to sort of like either finish off that little bit in there by hand, okay, which is only a little bit to do by hand, which is nothing, all right, just for security. But I didn't do it with my other one, and it's fine. But that's got silly threads there, but they'll come out. Make sure that is out the way. I would prefer to sew it that way, okay, but you must support this. I might be able to do it. Let's check that that's nicer. I know some people might pin it, but I didn't pin it. It's probably a lot easier if you pinned it. Right, I'll show you what I mean. Just to make sure we have enough there. Right. Just. I am going to pin it. So it's nice and tight now. Okay. Right. So I'll start this way. Move them out of the way. Slip that in as far as you can go. Just up there. I'm going to start it a minute. Oh, broke the thread. Okay, well that's what you do, and you go as far as go all the way around. Okay, until you get there, then the machine will stop anyway. It won't go any further because it will not go over that bit. And then do the same the other side. All right, and then you sew that by hand in there. Right, let's go and sort this out. Move it. Okay, so I stitched all around the outside of that. Okay, all around there, and then I trimmed it and cut off. Okay, but again, you know, I want this too short, of course, but I use pockets as well on the inside if you want to, or a bit of lace, which I done on this one. If you look, okay, like that, and then I'll put a nice pocket there to go on the inside. So I'll be doing something like that. So you know, yes, I'll stitch around there again, but that's when I sew the pocket on and everything. Okay, so, and this is the bit where you need to sometimes hand sew just in these bits here, because you know you can't get the sewing machine there, but it doesn't do a bad job everywhere else. And when you cover it with lace, again, it hides all the stitching and everything. All right, but at the moment it's quite visible, and this, you know, it didn't hold very well on that, so I definitely need to stitch along there again. When I was fraying it, it started to pull out, but that's all right. And here, and yeah, and I stitched one of those things on there. I don't know how. So I've ended up cutting them off shorter. So I ended up cutting, well, sewing it to that. But because of the way the journal is, look, you don't see any of the stitching. It's amazing. And then plus you can cover it a little bit after with a bit of lace if you do. So it's feeling lovely. Really is. Really lovely. Yep. So that's it. See, it's all nicely stitched along there. Again, you know, once you do a pocket and that, and then you add a bit of lace. Let's show you. You know, which I carried on with that lace all the way over to that to cover up anything that was unsightly there. All right. And then you just don't see it. And you don't see the stitching either. Not like that. But then I haven't finished that cover. I was going to carry on with some sort of these flowers going across or something down there. That's what I thought I was going to do there. Okay, well that's it really. You know, you see that the rest of it, you know, the pockets is similar to what we've been doing, you know, here and things like that. So that's exactly what I'll do in here when I get round to it. But I've got so many things on at the moment, so I need to, there we go, that once everything's in, it works out all right. Yeah, that's perfect. Look at that. There we go. But you've seen how I've done it. So have fun, everybody. And like I say, you can always cover things up. Right. Take care then, everyone. And thank you very much for watching. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.